All right. Right now, we'll talk about the political development in River State, which has been unending, and the latest is the impeachment process that was started, a few days ago by the State House of Assembly under the leadership of Right Honorable Martin Amaule, in which they said it sent a notice to the governor and, of course, to the Chief Justice to commence investigation, and it is there. Well, learned after that, a couple of House of Assembly members have tried to intervene on the matter. The first two who called for caution, another two, tried to placate the matter, possibly saying, can everything be solved amicably? And this is not new. The impeachment notice, this is virtually the second or the third, that popular one was when things degenerated like 10 months ago in March or thereabout, that the political tension rose to the extent that instead of emergency was called by the president into River State, and elected officers, including the governor and the House of Assembly members, the governor's deputy, Ngozi, all of them were suspended. And an administrator, was called into place. Rear Admiral Ebers retired. And 6 months after that, the governor was, brought back, resumed his functions rather. And one would think everything was fine. The Minister Wike's dimension in all of these, and the political struggle, the political capital, and all of these things, struggle of leadership in that state, it has degenerated. Now, here we are back, and which are seeing the governor, holding his foot on the ground, and the former minister, the former governor, minister of the FCT, saying he remains the leader in that place. In fact, he got another dimension. There was another angle from the APC, with the APC leadership led by the National Secretary of the APC, Ajibola Bashiro, was saying the governor, Nyesom Wike, by convention of the APC, is the leader. And we have seen an allusion to that where the vice president at the particular forum said he is the vice president, really, the second in command in the nation. But then Governor Babagana Zulum, he remains his leader, and examples have been given. But then, can that really work in this case? Because Governor Nyesom Fubara has moved to the APC. He's now the APC, but then his Oga, as he will always say, remains in the PDP. So the convention of the APC, can it work in a place that have a Minister Wike who is still of the PDP, who wants to remain very relevant and as the leader? In fact, at the particular, one of those tours he made to all the local government, virtually all the local government in River State, he was seen on the podium with the APC leadership and, of course, the PDP leadership as well. And he told them he's the only one that can do that. Only River State can do this, where you have opposing party leadership on the same podium and a man superintending in the affairs. These are the issues. And we learned, critical stakeholders are intervening on these matters. Well, the latest is Pandef trying to see what he can do, that thunder should not strike in a place twice. We have the man who assists the governor on new media here with us today, Honorable Benard Odike. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And here we are in this series of unending drama in your River State. The latest is your principal, who is now a subject of investigation, and an impeachment procedure has been kick-started against him. This is where we are this time. And there are many persons that are saying Governor Fubara should have learned one or two things from the previous months and years that he has been in power, especially with what happened when he was suspended by the president, how to judge, how to negotiate, how to bring people closer, how to win soft battles and all of those things. Now he's up for impeachment again. What do you say to that?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Did you hear me?
The point you're making is that people have said that based on experience that the governor by now should have known how to judge.
Yeah.
Maybe had to, mingle with others, especially those opposing him and all the rest.
Right.
Well, life is made easier when individual humans, stand out to be themselves. And then, because God created us as humans with our individual minds, we have our different DNAs. No two persons are exactly the same. So, but when a man reduces himself to a puppet, being controlled by another, his mind being manipulated by another, it becomes a very difficult situation to deal with such a person, because every time you're trying to talk with a person, maybe to have a headway, the situation you have is that the person wouldn't have a say. You have a situation where the person will revert back to the one who controls his mind before he comes to take a decision. So when you're dealing with such a person, it's as good as dealing with nobody. Now, but come to think of it, maybe opposition in politics is normal. It's not an abnormal thing. Everybody will not agree with you. Even people within the same political party can also disagree amongst themselves. But we should not allow such disagreement to degenerate to a situation that's counterproductive or extrajudicial or not in line with what it should be. You can have your say, you can have your opinion. I can have my say, I can have my opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, normal humans, when we have our say, we have our opinions. We weigh. Even I'm arguing with you, we weigh the two opinions. If you make point, because all we're looking at is how to make progress. We're not just arguing for arguing's sake. I'm not arguing just to win you. Whatever discussion we're holding should be tailored towards, solving problems, bringing solution to problems and then making society better. So at the end of the day, there might be some that might be taken from my opinion. There might be some that might be taken from your opinion. Or sometimes it could be yours. Your opinion could outweigh mine. And then we come to a point to understand that, yes, you have good points. Why not? Let's go that way. That's how life is supposed to be. But when you now have people who are selfish, people who have become extremely selfish, people who are not working, for the good or interest of society, it's just all about themselves. They will coin all sorts of, remarks just to support what they are standing for or against. But in the case of Rivers State, I can tell you, there are people who do not, who have opposition, people who are opposing the governor, especially those who are standing with Wike and the rest of them, even in the House of Assembly. But I can tell you of a truth. Those who are standing with the governor, those who are standing for the governor, are in majority, overwhelming majority, which is clear. And that's why you can see all that's happening in Rivers State. Else, we have not even come into political, maybe campaign and all the rest. People are going from AGA to AGA campaigning and holding rally, trying to prove one point or the other.
All right, Mr. Odike, let me come in here. I'd like us to treat some elements of this story that I have here on Vanguard newspaper. Okay. But before then, this meeting that was set up, between the governor and the minister, Nyesom Wike, it's reported here that it has shown a considerable sign of backing down after meeting with the Peace and Reconciliation Committee set up by the pandemic. How true is this?
I don't know. I don't know anything about such this thing. Anybody can report anything, but I don't know. So whatever I do not know, I do not also want to have a say on it.
Okay, let's clarify. Are you saying there wasn't, or you're not privy to a meeting, or there was no meeting, or you don't know if there is a considerable sign of truce?
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm not aware of any such meeting, so I can't say anything about it because I'm not aware.
All right. Let me also ask you this. On a source said that, all right, It says here, meanwhile, there may be a fresh reason why the lawmakers, including the 4 who earlier called for a political solution to the crisis, suddenly rescinded their earlier call for impeachment. The impeachment process, at least prominently, there were 2 women who said they were backing down from the impeachment call. Let's talk about this. I mean, this source, can you substantiate what this source has said?
Yeah, initially when I saw the first 2 guys, 2 young men, one was actually my schoolmate, though a class ahead of me, the one that represents Omuma State constituency, Silvanus Nwankwo. And then the one that represents the Gema local government area, Peter Abbey, also. When I saw them, I knew that these guys were just, playing to the gallery. They were just up to, like, if you see what they have done, suddenly they come up to say that, supporters of the governor, what they were saying on social media, because of that, they have backed out, and then that they are supporting the, continuation of the impeachment process and so on and so forth. I told people, when even some of supporters of the governor were like using it to like make a story, I told people, I said, it's neither here nor there. These people were not serious. They were just playing to the gallery. Now, part of what they were trying to achieve, from what I saw and what is the reality now, was, to create an impression that they have also, some of them have made attempts to reach, to kind of placate, to bring some kind of balance to now, for negotiation or for dialogue and all the rest. But that the governor is not playing along. That's exactly what they did. They did not do it because they meant it. You can imagine where somebody saying that, okay, let us back down and allow room for dialogue and all the rest. And at the same time, they insisted, they reaffirmed that the governor actually committed whatever. And, that's just what it is. So nothing. Those people just play to the gallery. Don't take them seriously. They are just, I said, when humans are no longer acting as God prepared them, rather acting based on what somebody else tells them to do, then such humans have lost, their true value as humans. They have become puppets.
All right. The reason why I asked that question, I wanted to hear your side to that particular story or report there, before I read out what Sunday Vanguard investigations revealed. It says that the lawmakers want to extract a genuine commitment from the governor that they will be given return tickets, in the 2027 general elections. Let's have your side.
Well, it's possible that because it's not far from the truth that they might be looking for an avenue to extract reassurances here and there. But who comes back, who goes back to where, it should be determined by the electorate, not one man, not one person. And that's where we are heading to as Rivers State. Rivers people are determined that Governor Fubara will come back, come rain, come shine. So the assembly members too, they should also rely on the people. The people will decide who comes back or who goes back. That's what it should be.
Right. So, as it is right now, the impeachment is ongoing. The process is ongoing. The CJ will enter HA. My Lord has been served in this matter. So we wait for what will happen. Although there are political solutions, one of them is this reported meeting, broadcast between the governor and, Nyesom Wike, in which you said you can't confirm, nor deny. In this case, what is now in the majority now? You might, want to say Governor Nyesom Fubara has the support of, overwhelming support of River State people, but the River State people, are not the ones, those quote and unquote, are not the ones in those supporters, are not the ones at the State House of Assembly, that those that are there, the clear majority, 26, that are, very loyal to the other camp, are the overwhelming majority. They are the ones in the saddle right now, and they have accused your principal of gross misconduct, of extra budgetary spending. In fact, Martin Amaule referred to your principal as a mistake at the, right there at the chamber. And these are the issues. What fate, is ahead of Governor Wike now? that maybe he only has a few persons at the House of Assembly and they are the ones dictating the matters right now, do you fear that maybe he might truly be impeached because he might have the support of the people, but constitutionally speaking, the House members are the one dictating the affairs of which he doesn't have the control? Do you fear for him?
Okay, it's a fear that he will be impeached. The governor has already been impeached. In impeachment, like I will always say, is not a removal from office. Impeachment is just what is going on. So the governor has already been impeached by the River State House of Assembly. They have the constitutional rule to do so. Then, but when we go further, we begin to ask, are they supposed to even commence such a process? Ordinarily, they shouldn't have, but because of like what I have said earlier, you have a set of people who cannot sit on their own independently and decide for themselves. For instance, you want to impeach a governor. Have you gone back to the electorate, your constituents, to present the infractions or whatever offenses the governor had committed and find out from them if this and that, if they're in agreement with such a move for the impeachment of the governor? I will tell you, none of them had done so. They are just on their own, and the people are not happy with them. You're going to take such a far-reaching decision in a state where the people are happy with the governor, they're okay with what the governor is doing, and they know that all the allegations are frivolous, unfounded. What are the allegations? That the governor had never presented budget, that the governor has done this. In fact, the funniest part is that they're even saying that, because of the judgment of the Supreme Court prior to this time, that it is settled. All they just is just to, whatever. And I laughed. Is that what the law says? The law is clear. Yes, fine. If you're sure the governor has committed any impeachable offense, go ahead and carry on with the process. When you're done, just like what they have done, you send your resolution to the chief judge of the state, requesting for him to set up a 7-man panel, and it is at the prerogative of the chief judge to appoint people of impeccable integrity to set up, to now investigate the allegations. And when these allegations are, when they are tested by this panel, the governor will have opportunity to defend himself. The assembly people will also have their lawyer there making case for them, and at the end of the day, the panel will weigh it and look at it, and then come up with a judgment, maybe a kind of a pronouncement. Either the impeachment succeeds or the impeachment fails. So Rivers people are not perturbed.
Yeah, Honorable Odike, you are saying that the River State House of Assembly can do, if I get you right, can go ahead and do whatever they want to do. You are not perturbed. It will still boil down to the CJ and the team that will put up, to now investigate the matter, call the governor. The governor will have his day. It's like you are putting your fate in the hands of the judiciary. Can you take that risk?
No. First of all, I have said that the impeachment is uncalled for. Because
you have established that. I'm only saying if the House members
I'm coming. And Anna said yes, that they have the assembly, the legislature. I was a councillor, I was a legislator,
right.
And we even impeached at the matter. We impeached the chairman, but we couldn't remove him because the assembly, when we sent our resolution to them, did not do what they should do. Okay. Because all they needed to do would have been to look at, if we followed the procedure, which we did. And then it is based on that they will now recommend to the chief judge of the state to set up, I think, a 3-man panel in that case to, try the local government chairman. But they did not do this. Martin Amewule was part of that House of Assembly that we sent out our resolution to. So we actually impeached the chairman. We succeeded with the process at the chambers of the Legislative Council of the LGA. It succeeded, but at the Assembly they failed to do what they ought to have done. So as a result, our impeachment did not lead to removal of the chairman. So what they are doing now is their constitutional rule, if they are doing it rightly, but whether rightly or wrongly, it is within their right to do so. Okay. And then they have sent this into the chief judge, and there's also a case in the court, a restraining order asking the chief judge not to respond to whatever. So let's look and see how it all goes. But like we know, truth shines like light. And I want to believe that the chief judge will do the right thing by appointing people of impeccable integrity, people who will stand by the truth and unravel the truth, and then solve this problem once and for all.
I get it. By the way, if just like you are saying, you are so confident that if push come to shove, the State House of Assembly statutorily can do their worst, but it doesn't end with them. There's still another line of action that you feel
good. It doesn't end with them. They cannot remove the governor. The only way their own is to do the impeachment, and then the removal only happens when at the judiciary level, when chief judge has appointed. So it is that panel now that decides.
The question I want to ask is this: even if your principal escapes this particular process, the problem will still not go away. There is a reason why you got here. That's one thing. And I just want to ask you two questions. And number one is this: the issue of leadership and all of those things. In fact, former Governor Dele Fayose said he has spoken on this matter before. You are the governor, you remain the governor. But when it comes to political structure and leadership and all of those things, don't struggle with some certain people. In fact, he said when he was governor, he did that and he had his hands burnt. But he has learned a lesson that you might be the governor. There are still people that are your leaders that you should defer to. That's one. And in fact, it was reported to have asked a question to say, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is the governor in Lagos State. But can he truly call himself the 001 in Lagos politics? That he doesn't do that. There are people that are his leaders and he listens to. That why is your principal not doing that the same path? That's number one. Number two is this: your principal has joined the APC, and I remember seeing that particular footage where he made a announcement to say he didn't get as much protection and cover from the PDP during his turbulent days, before now, and the PDP didn't protect him enough. He would rather go to the APC, in which the president, Benard Odike, played a very significant role, and he has found a new home in the APC. Now, the leadership of the APC, Ajibala Bashiru, some individuals appear to be on the side of, through the party, your governor, your principal. My second question is, do you think the APC is protecting your principal enough? Are they really rooting for him? Are they protecting him, as a sharp change from what he complained of in the PDP? Two questions, if you understand.
First of all, you said something Ayo Fayose said, that Ayo Fayose got his hand burnt. Does not mean that every other person got his or her hand burnt. We saw what happened in Kwara State. After when Olushola Saraki, the father of what's his name? His own name, Saraki, the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki. He was a strong man of Kwara politics. He decides who gets what and who goes where. But his son dethroned him. His son dethroned him. So, and then, contrary to whatever, installed a successor that was not, installed by what's his name, the Olushola Saraki. So there are other cases in different places. It has happened that Ayo Fayose got his hand burnt. But let's come back. Did Fubara actually challenge anybody? He did not. He had been, if Fubara actually, walked to dethrone Wike as political leader of Rivers State, it would have been a very simple walk in the park. But from beginning, Fubara made it clear that he is just the administrator and that Wike is the political leader of Rivers State. He never for once, thought of usurping political power from Wike. He never for once. And let me buttress my point. If you had been following up what was happening in PDP, the National Organizing Secretary of the PDP then, made a statement and said that when they wanted to hand over the structure of the PDP in Rivers State to Governor Fubara on a platter, that he rescinded. He did not. So if Governor Fubara had plan to usurp political leadership in Rivers State to kick down Wike, he would have taken that long time ago. And Wike, if Wike did not have PDP structure in Rivers State the way he had it, he would have been useless politically. But Fubara did not do so. And look, Governor Fubara is a character to study. He appreciates the role Wike played in his life. I've been talking about his emergence as the governor of Rivers State. And as a result, he had been able not to utilize the power as he ought to as a governor. Any governor of Rivers State is as powerful as you can think of. He can do so many things, but he had played down all that. And that goes in line with his mantra. He has come to rewrite the narrative in Rivers State. Look at, after Odile going to Amechi, the Rivers State was boiling. Amechi, then Wike, Governor Fubara came and said, look, Rivers State is not a violent state. Rivers State should not be known to be what it is not. Rivers State is a very hospitable place. Rivers State, so he's making sure that things did not escalate. But somebody somewhere pushing and trying to still maintain that narrative that Rivers State is a volatile place, but he has refused to allow it be as a governor. That's what's happening in Rivers State. Yes, all these things by now would have been a thing of the past. So, but he is still trying to maintain, and that's the truth. Rivers State is a peaceful place, a hospitable place. We are a good people. We are not known for violence, but some people, because of their political selfish ambition and all the rest, try to create the impression and, use money, lobby some, even their children will not be part of it, but they will use other people's children. My second question, give them money and then make them,
Please answer the second question. Where I said, do you have enough support from the APC national headquarters on these matters?
No, not talking about support from the APC.
Let me join this.
Please hold on.
Talking about support from the APC.
Okay, let me add this to it. So it will just, you can answer it together. The APC has ruled out automatic tickets for defecting governors, into the APC. Now, the illusion of automatic tickets that some of these governors, including your principal, Fubara, may have, has somewhat been eroded by the APC. What do you say to that?
We're not perturbed. The man who fears is a man who is not sure of his back or who is backing him. Governor Fubara's strength today is the people. And so long as the people are standing with him, we're not afraid. Rivers people want him back. The impeachment, by the grace of God, the impeachment will not lead to removal by the grace of God. That's, churches everywhere, people are praying and
but are you sure your confidence is not overreaching? My colleague recently just talked about the fact that there were structures. There is a structure in place before your principal defected into this party. There would have been people vying for that position. How do you say? Do you think they don't have goodwill with the people either?
No. I'm telling you, I'm a homeboy, and I'm telling you what the reality is in Rivers State. Governor Fubara does not have the only opposition in Rivers State. When we know opposition that will threaten his comeback, there's no person for now. There's no person.
Does he have the cover? No, my question earlier is, does he have the cover of the APC? Is it protected?
Now, the APC, from the statement you just quoted of the national chairman of APC, he said they will not give an automatic ticket to anybody. That they elect, maybe the primaries, but there will be due process and all the rest. Good. It comes back to what I'm saying. Let's see how it goes. So long as there is level playing ground, Governor Fubara will always come out triumphant. So long as Rivers State is concerned today, he will win.
All right. We want to appreciate you for your time and your take. And we wish now you politicians would do your stuff. Politicians would do what they do. But beyond the politicians, we sincerely here do wish the good people of Rivers State the best of what they deserve, actually. Because for the past 2 years, we have been speaking to you on this matter, for countless times now. And it's always about the drama. I'm sure Nigerians and Riverians want to have other narrative beyond drama. Honorable Benard Odike.
Sorry, before you draw the curtain, you know, before the year ended, Governor Fubara went on series of commissioning and flagging off. So things are happening. Governance is taking place in Rivers State.
Really?
You know, things are happening. Yes, things are happening.
All right.
So things are happening.
We'll find another moment to talk about governance proper beyond politics and some of the shenanigans. Honorable Benard,
he's not phased. He's not phased. Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Benard Odike is the SSA on New Media to Governor Fubara. Thank you. We'll take a quick break.
Thank you very much.
We'll make a return. Stay with us.